Benji?
Fuck Fred, fuck Howard, and fuck all of them.
What about Robin? She's hot, right?
Robin?
Yeah.
Who cares about that bitch?
Falcon fans, Falcon Nation, Dirty Fanatics United is back live coming at you with episode 55. As always, I'm your host, Chase. If you're new to the channel, hit the like, hit that comment, leave a subscribe, and most definitely share it to another Falcon fan. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Philip and Cody, as always. What's going on, brother? How you been doing?
It's been a great little week, you know. I haven't really been too much into social media this week. This is my first time breaking the silence from since then. I haven't really checked a whole lot, but I have been a little, into it, certain things. Got a fulfilled weekend. We got WrestleMania tomorrow and Sunday night. I'm gonna be watching that, so can't wait for that. Other than that, just ready to talk some Falcon football, baby.
Got a lot of Falcon football to talk to you tonight about. It's been a week since Dirty Fanatics United has been live, and we thank everybody that's been following us through this journey. Cody, what's going on, man? How you been doing? I've been kind of quiet in the chat, man, this week. Been on an outage at work. Haven't been able to chop it up with the boys about Falcon football. So, man, I'm ready to talk tonight. Cody, what's going on, man?
Yes, sir. I mean, it has been a busy week. It's summer's, spring and summer right around the corner, so everybody's getting their cars worked on. So we have been slammed. So I haven't been very active either on our chat, man. But it is good to be back to talk Falcon football with y'all.
Yes, sir, man. As always, man, hit that like, share, and subscribe if you're new to the channel, man. We didn't reach our goal of 350 by the end of last month, which is okay. We gained a lot of subscribers in that month. We were at 300 last month. We hit 348, man. We gained 48 subscribers in 1 month. So we greatly appreciate everybody that participated in hitting that subscribe button, man. My boy Cody. Cody, go ahead and give the fans the news of what you told me in the chat the other day.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Unfortunately, we didn't hit that 350 mark. We were too short. It's the off season, so we were pushing big and we went far. But I tell you what, April 15th, if we can hit 355, I'll still send somebody to a Falcon game.
Hey man, y'all heard my guy. April 15th, make it happen. How many you said, Cody? How many? 300 and what?
355. We'll push it up.
355 by April 15th, man. Get us there. Share it to a Falcon fan. We want to send you guys to a Falcon preseason game. Boy, Cody giving away a free ticket. Shout out to him for doing so, man. A season ticket holder here doing big things for Falcon fans. A lot of Falcon news going around, guys. We might as well jump right on into it. But before we do, let's show the chat some love. Starting at the very top, my guy, Dwayne Ruffin in the chat. He said, we in here like swimwear. Big Low Country Sports in the chat. Said doing it big, bro. Yes, sir. Shout out to Mr. Michael Scott over here. Hunter with a flexing emoji. Yes, sir. My boy DSGB Hall in the chat said DFU. What it do? Justin in the chat said, what's good, fellas? What's good, Justin? Brandon Keelan in the chat said, what's up, fellas? Brandon, good to have you in the chat, brother. Glad you tuned in tonight with us. Hit that like button, share to a friend. Justin Newman said, DFU, what's good? Miss Pam in the chat said, hello, fellas. Miss Pam, someone that's going to be on Dirty Fanatics United Fan Night when the next episode of that comes up. That will be very lit because Miss Pam is a podcaster herself with AFN. So Miss Pam doing big things for the Atlanta Falcon fans as well. Dave in the chat said, good evening, guys. Dave, glad to have you here in the chat, brother. Hit that like button, hit that share, and definitely share it to a Falcon friend. My boy Brandon said, let's get it, y'all. Get them likes and follows. Hit that like button, hit that share. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, man. Jumping right into it. Atlanta Falcon news and updates. Philip, Cody, not a lot of splashes, but definitely something to talk about here. Eddie Goldman back again for another training camp. Starting at the top, Philip, Cody, what are we feeling about this Eddie Goldman move? Is he finally going to make foot on Atlanta Falcon football field, or is this another whatever it's been the past 2 years?
I'm gonna just say I want to speak more on it. If he makes that 50-man roster, I just want to see what he's actually going to do. Because I'm pretty sure the past 2 seasons he's done the same exact thing. And then I think last year he came, and then like 13 days later he retired. Mm-hmm. Or was that the first time? I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to keep up with it when it happens 2 years in a row. Cody, your thoughts on Eddie Goldman? Is this the year Eddie got it together? He's been at the house 2 years. Body should be in pretty good shape. Shouldn't be banged up too bad. Eddie Goldman back with the Atlanta Falcons, a nose tackle, as Philip said, a Bears legend. Your thoughts on Eddie Goldman?
You know what? I'm with Philip on this. Once I see you in a Falcon uniform and it's week 1, I'll believe the hype. Let's see you get through training camp first, buddy. But I mean, cool. If he works out, who knows? He could be great here in a Falcon uniform, or he'll wind up retiring again. So we'll see what he decides to do.
Man, you look at the D line and you think about it, Eddie Goldman. I helped the Eddie Goldman. You've seen what he did with the Bears, as Philip said, he was a legend with the Bears, a team that had a good defensive line for quite a while since Mike Ditka. Eddie Goldman, I hope to see him out there, man. I hope to see him battling for position. Would love to see him as a rotational piece. Maybe he still has some juice in the tank. Eddie Goldman back with the Atlanta Falcons, man. Let's hope it works out for the best. I'll pull for him. Eddie, make it happen, brother. But like Cody said, until you got the pads on, then I'll believe the hype. Breaking news as well. We signed Hamilton from the Cardinals. Philip, Cody, how are we feeling about that? Philip, start with you, and then we'll rotate to Cody.
I didn't really have time this week to check in too much of him, but I do know he came from Arizona. I also know his wife is from Atlanta, and that she also posted that she no longer in the past 8 years, she has no longer to,
travel to another city. Yeah.
Just to see him or go somewhere else, to follow him, back home.
I actually have the post here for them. I'm gonna quote it now since you're speaking about it. Tierra Barnett Hamilton. I did not give you that name to grade her Facebook page, but she posted, "I always said I'll follow you anywhere. I'm just glad this time it's only me following you home from the games. I can finally cheer on my home team and my man. We're home. If you know me, you know I'm happy. The first time in 8 years that I don't have to move." Hamilton fitting right in Atlanta with his wife, man. Shout out to them. I know they're excited to be here in Atlanta. Philip, please go ahead, brother.
But yeah, I didn't have much time to look into his stats, but from what I did see, like he has certain plays against a rival team. One is our biggest rival is the Saints. I've seen a couple things there. It looks pretty good, but I just want to see what he's going to do for this team, or whether he's going to be just a camp body or what. But maybe not. Maybe he has success here in Atlanta. I would love to see it since they're from here in Atlanta.
Yes, sir, man. Shout out to Brandon Keeler in chat. So let's go, y'all. Get them likes and follows. Shout out to Moms in the chat. She said, "Happy Friday to everybody. Happy Friday to you, Moms." DFU, what's good, bro? Shout out to Mr. Thomas in the chat. Thomas giving away here at DFU. As soon as we hit 400, I believe it was, he's giving away 2 memberships to the riseup tour, man. So there's another thing to be looking forward to when it comes to DFU getting subscribers. We gain and you guys gain. Yes, we do need to post that, Phil. We need to make an ad about that. Brandon Keeler in the chat said, "Eddie gonna retire again." Sheesh. My guy Dave in the chat said, "Do you guys have any idea what the Falcons will do at 8?" Cody, before we hit on Mr. Dave's comment, give me your thoughts about Mr. Hamilton coming over to the Atlanta Falcons.
It's like Philip said. I looked at it. The last 3 years he's in Arizona had a possibility of playing 51 games. He only hit 16. Not much of a Cardinal watcher, so I don't know if it was injury or if it's just a backup. But hey, congratulations on coming home, or at least coming home to your wife's home here in Atlanta. Welcome to the A, man. I love calling Atlanta home. I'm sure it's great for them. It's going to be interesting to see. I've seen people think that he can compete for a starting job because I guess his role in Arizona was very, in or out. So it'll be interesting to see. But like Philip said, too, the only highlight that, really was out there was the pick against the Saints. And, anything that bad happens to the Saints makes me happy, because fuck them.
Yeah, 100%. Just like my boy Beetlejuice said, man, I hit that like button over there. Over 800 views right now, man. Shout out to Philip and me a little bit on that edit. Philip did the editing. I came up with that.
You found the clip. I did the editing.
Just made it happen, man. So shout out to us for doing that, collabing together to bring you guys content, man. Hit that like button, man. Headed to the next comment here. That was Mr. Dave here in the chat. He said, "Do you guys have any idea what the Falcons would do at 8?" Philip, I'll let you start, Cody, and then I'll end the conversation.
That's a question. That's a very great question. I've been sitting here for the past couple of days thinking that myself. We just figured out. We just got a corner, so I was thinking, maybe we go edge. Or I'm still thinking you might go corner or edge here. I don't really know. You might trade back and get a few more picks. I don't know, but from what I'm thinking in my mind, I really think we move back a few spots, and I think we get either Jared Verse or Latu. That's who I think. I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yep, that's two solid picks
Or if
there.
you stay at 8, you get Dallas Turner. You can't either way. You're not passing up on anybody. That's not they're all there for a reason.
Mhm.
You get a great pick either way.
Cody, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think we stay there at 8. And it seems like the two guys that are kind of linked to us there at 8 is Latua and Dallas Turner. Personally, I think we're probably going Dallas Turner. We need that edge, especially if, here in the next couple of weeks, Eddie decides that he's going to retire, find another lineman there. But I definitely think it's going to be defense. I definitely think we stay there at 8. And I'm fingers crossed for me that Dallas Turner comes here because I want that pass rusher, that end that it always seems like we're missing.
Yeah, I was just looking at some mock drafts, and as this subject came about, a new mock draft hit. I'm not sure what this article or who it's written by, but they have us trading out of the number 8 spot to the Arizona Cardinals. They take Rome Odunze. We trade back to number 12, and the Atlanta Falcons take Jared Verse, a guy that I have been very big on since last year. Philip, he was on my draft board last year until he decided to pull out and stay in college. I gave my dynamics on him, man. He's just a long edge rusher that's fast. He's got the better hands work, I would say, as far as versus him and Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner is still a stud. I love Dallas Turner. If he comes to Atlanta, so be it. But Jared Verse, Latua, Dallas Turner, I think all three of those guys are going to be winners in the NFL, man. This draft is very deep. You could sit at 8 and take the Dallas Turner move. You could sit at 8 and take Jared Verse. You could trade back and take a cornerback and get draft capital. There's so many scenarios, and that's what's going to be great about DFU. We're here live draft night at Dirty Fanatics United. Cody's in the bins, coming live from the bins. Me and Philip be behind the TV screen, watching the draft. Doing it big time, man. DFU's very first live draft party. Training camp, Philip, would actually round up to about a year that me and Philip started the podcast, man. And we're going to do something big for that. So be sure to stick around for what's to come to DFU.
July, actually.
Yep. Brandon Keeler said, is this like third time the charm?
I'm
boy,
pretty sure
the Birdcage LLC. So, yeah, that was what Brandon Keeler's comment was about Eddie Goldman. He said, the Birdcage, what's good, fellas? Y'all hit that like, subscribe button for these fellas, man. Shout out to the Birdcage, over 400 subscribers on YouTube. Another Atlanta Falcon content creator right here, the Birdcage. I had the pleasure to do a podcast with this guy with my boy Chris and Mr. Smooth Smitty 10K. So shout out to Birdcage and what he's got going on over on his channel. Philip, Cody, more things to talk about here when it comes to these Atlanta Falcons. We have a former NFC South rival speaking praises about Bijan Robinson.
As I go on, he's going to be special, Matthew said. Marshall Falk, Edgar and James, you know what I mean. Like LaDainian Thompson, and I didn't think the Falcons really used him as good as they should have last year. But, man, he's going to be good. He's going to be real good.
Your thoughts, Philip.
Now, I thank you for praising my boy Bijan 100%. But don't be speaking on my team's name when your team can't even figure out another route other than a slant for one player. That's all I'm going to say, but appreciate the praise for that man Bijan because he deserves it.
Cody, your thoughts about Matthew talking praise about Bijan Robinson?
Yeah, I'm kind of like Philip. I would say if you're the same player, keep my team and my players' names out your mouth. But, I guess I'll give him the fact that, he did give him, a shout out, how good he's going to be. And he's right. Bijan's going to be something special here in Atlanta for a long time. He just is. I mean, he really didn't say anything profound or, anything that nobody didn't know. We've talked about Bijan on here and how special he is. So, he's right. I think Coach Smith, didn't use Bijan probably the best that he could have. It seemed like when Bijan was getting hot, it's like, okay, let's get away from that. And it didn't make any sense to me. But he's right. Bijan's going to be special, man.
Bijan is 100% going to be an absolute star when it comes to NFL. You see the names that another NFL. I don't want to call him a great because he is with the Saints, but let's be honest, he played really well in Arizona. Was one time in his prime when he played in NFL, a guy that's seen it all. And to hear that kind of praise about a rookie in his rookie season, for other players to notice that, a guy that you meet 2 years throughout the year, Bijan putting over 200-something yards on the ground against the Saints this season alone. Pretty big stats for Bijan against the divisional opponent. So I hope to see Bijan take that second-year leap, gain even more praise for Bijan throughout the league. He, like I said, man, if you watch the team meeting, you hear Rod talk about it. You know, we got a player selling mustard on the team, man. We're here to do stuff for the city. We're here to put a winning team on the field, and that's what Bijan brings, man. That's what Bijan brings to Atlanta. Another topic to talk about is speaking on the draft, a later round pick. Obviously, I don't think this would happen in the first or the second. Cody, this is your topic of the night, brother.
Yes, sir. The Falcons are sending a sizable group to Seattle to conduct a private workout with the Washington quarterback Michael Penix. Today, per sources, head coach Raheem Morris and GM Terry Fontenot are among those traveling with the party, which left this morning. Atlanta holds the 8th pick overall.
Cody, your thoughts, brother?
Man, I think it's a good move. I think it would be great, because obviously we don't really have that. Once Kirk is done, hopefully, not hopefully that he's done in 4 years, but hopefully gives us all 4 years that, he's got left with, his age and stuff like that, that we've got that next viable guy that'll just step right in, learn from Kirk, be a professional, my favorite word is be consistent, right. and just don't turn the ball over. And, if he's learned from Kirk, he's definitely going to learn to be persistent. He's definitely going to learn to be consistent, and he's definitely going to learn not to turn the ball over. So I'm excited for that.
Philip, your thoughts about the Falcons going all in for Michael Penix Jr., sending damn near the whole Flowery Branch crew?
I kind of like it. From the start, I never had anything towards the kid. There was a few other quarterbacks that I didn't want. But, my only concern that when we were talking about him was being, his, blind side blocker would be Caleb McGarry. But maybe Caleb McGarry gets that, figured out and everything, But I like the kid. No, he didn't get to show a lot in the national championship game, but it is what it is. That game doesn't define you. As we know, AJ Terrell got torched in his national championship game, and look where he's at now. He's probably fit to get another extension here with us. I love it.
Philip, breaking news: AJ Terrell with the Falcon tattoo on his arm, with the NFL logo, first round pick. I think it was number 14 or 16, something like that. AJ Terrell repping the A-Town, man. So his hometown, like Philip said, you hope to see him get that extension. But yeah, man, a lot going on here in Atlanta. I headed to the comment section real quick. My boy Burke says Antonio Hamilton is a dog. He's proven because he came out of the South Carolina State system, and he's a buddy of who HBCU and college football HOF product. Birdcage is big on these smaller college schools, man. If you haven't seen the episode, Smitty, there's a lot of players you talk about D. Alford, Nate Lamont, players like this that are now huge impacts in Atlanta. So yeah, this draft is deep, and as well as free agency, man. My boy Brandon Keeler said, "Bird, yes, he was good, darn near great, but again, age does catch up for DBs. That is very true." My boy LaMarcus Boyd in the chat said, "What's up, fellas?" I believe this is LaMarcus. Yep. What's up, fellas? He said, "Verse or Turner."
100%.
Birdcage says, Steve White said on the interview we had him on that we're going edge or QB. Dave said, "Guys, I'm not satisfied with the receiver room." Philip, Cody, your thoughts?
As a guy that's big on receiver, I played DB, but that's besides the point. I always like the wide receiver point of view. I'm really not satisfied either, if we're being honest. I mean, we got Drake, we got a couple guys, but I feel like you need that one. You just need that one more guy, just one more, a great. It don't even have to be great. Just you got your great, decent. I'm gonna put him between the great and decent, mid tier. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're just missing that one guy, and I could be wrong. We could end up, being dominant with the receiving core. I just feel like we I just feel like personally we do need that one guy, But we'll see how the draft goes. You never know.
Cody, your thoughts on Dave's comment?
Yeah, no, I'm kind of with him on it. Not super satisfied with the wide receiver room. I mean, it's talented. It's definitely talented with guys that are quick and fast and, take the top off. So, some of these guys, run great routes. But it would be nice to kind of see us sign somebody like obviously not Mohamed Sanu, but a Mohamed Sanu guy that, was just, again, consistent, behind, your consistent number 2 guy when you've got, Julio, in our case now, Drake, double team, triple team, whatever. You've got that number 2 wide receiver that, is going to catch the ball. He's not going to gator hand anything. He's not going to, let balls get by him, but again, that's the one thing that people tend to forget, speaking of the wide receivers, we still got Kyle Pitts, man. So that definitely helps out in that sense. So if we could get, like I say, like that Mohamed Sanu level guy, I'd be a lot happier. But if we don't, we've got a tight end that's pretty much a wide receiver too.
Yeah, 100%. Wayne Ruffin in the chat. Go ahead, Philip.
Try to get like a Donnie Mitchell later on in the draft. Not too late, but
I think he'll be going in the first. Yeah, I think
late first. Yeah, I feel it, and he deserves it. You know what I mean? But it would be nice to see somebody like that. I feel like he would fit in that category.
My boy D. Wayne Ruffin in the chat said, has to be edge. Got the vet corner so we can get another corner in the second if we need another. I'm on the Verse train. Jerry Verse, man, would be a stud here in Atlanta, I believe, and you could trade back possibly and gain more draft capital for the guy. Brandon Kudo said, fellas, please, please, please like and share our podcast, The Sports Nuts. We tackle all sports, and I'm hoping to hear you guys say y'all will be a weekly guest. Brandon Keeler is starting up his own podcast, The Sport Nuts. Check them out. They talk about all sports. They're a podcast that brings you pretty sure all around the league information. So check out The Sports Nuts on YouTube, Facebook groups as well. The Birdcage says, Jared Verse or Chris Braswell needs to be the edge. We get Turner's numbers dropped after Will Anderson left. Turner doesn't fit our system. Braswell is a guy we got to take him or Verse. I don't know much about Braswell, but Verse, man. Verse is the guy that I'm kind of keyed on. I would take, like I said, again, I'll take Latua, Verse, or Dallas. Guy. I'll take any of them. And Philip, too, with the chemistry with Jimmy Lake is another thing to look at.
I'm a very good Latua guy right now. I feel like he's overall at that position right now. I feel like he's the overall best fit and best in that category. But, what do I know? I'm just a fan. Yeah. You never know what's going to happen. But like I said, out of them 3, maybe 4, you're not passing up on anybody that's not good. So you're going to get one that's good.
Yeah. Dave said, shouldn't the NFL be done with their tampering investigation by now? Philip, you was talking earlier about an article you was reading sometime this week. You want to express on that a little bit about what, kind of sum it up?
Pretty much all I seen was it was just like something on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it nowadays. But it said that they were getting deeper into the investigation. I didn't really declare if it was something that they found something, like whether they found something less tampering or whether they just couldn't find nothing and it's about over with. But
let's not forget, the year that Tom Brady did that mess with Miami, it was pretty darn quick. They were on Miami. I mean, that same year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Or you mean Tampa?
Tampa. Yeah, but Miami got the tampering charges for it because Miami was trying to pull him before. I don't know. I had to read into it, but Miami lost a draft pick because of that.
Well, yes, because they did find evidence of them trying to, like, people in the facility trying to bring him there, other than just players. The only person,
Ryan Thomas,
from the only person that, and it still stands up to this moment, the only person he talked to was Kyle Pitts. So I mean, other than that, I think they really don't have nothing. Even Arthur Blanks denied that they, had contact with him. So I mean, we'll just see.
Ron Thomas in the chat said, what's up, everyone? Shout out to Ron Thomas, man. Check him out on Facebook. You guys have a podcast started over at Ron Thomas. A bunch of Falcon fans, man, starting their own podcast. Love to see it. Gonna have a bunch of collabs coming up soon with a bunch of podcasters because that's what makes us all grow as content creators. Next comment here from Brandon said, no, it takes almost usually a year. Rise Up family. I believe it's my boy Jabri on Facebook. Shout out to Jabri Harper in the chat. Shout out to LaMarcus Boyd in the chat. My boy Birdcage, Thomas Scott, Brandon Keeler, Dave, everybody on Twitter, X. If you're on X, man, head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. All you have to do is type in DFU_ATL, and you'll be able to find us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, man. We greatly appreciate it. On the road to 1K at 348 before the show started. Hoping to see 350 when we exit the live, man. It'll be great to see. So share this to a Falcon fan that you know isn't subscribed to DFU, and get them on the train, man. We love new people over here at the channel, so would love to see that. My boy Wallace Smith in the chat said, "What's going on, fellas?" Wallace Smith, glad to have you here tonight, brother. LaMarcus Boyd said, "Wow. Okay, speaking on the Michael Penix, he said, good for us. We need to have continuity after Kirk is gone."
I feel like he can be a good successor.
If Penix stays behind Kirk 4 years, he will start at the age of 29 or 30, I think. So, yeah, a lot going on, man, when it comes to these Falcons and draft night. John Moreno in the chat said, "What's up, fellas?" From Galveston, Texas. John, appreciate you tuning in, brother. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. Share to another Falcon fan, man. We're trying to grow, trying to hit 1K. Falcon fans, man, report here. DFU is the place to be. Cody, you brought some attention to the chat today of a subject that you wanted to hit on, and that subject would be no other than Marcus Mariota speaking on his departure from Atlanta. Cody, take the stage, brother.
Yeah, no. So this is something I want to talk about, real quick, because again, it's a former Falcon, talking about, how he doesn't understand, the narrative of he quit on the team. So let me clear something up for you real quick, Marcus. As a Falcon fan, just as a Falcon fan, not somebody from the front office, somebody that played football for 10 years, you quit on us. You flat out quit on us. I don't care what you say about an injury or you agreed to step away. You were the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. Not Desmond Ridder, not Matt Ryan, not name somebody. You were the starter. You quit. You should have never left, ever. There is no reason for you not to have been with the team for the last 4 games. I understand your situation may not have been perfect here. I understand that we were doing a lot of losing in a lot of bad ways, but there was no reason that you should have gone.
A lot of that problem.
I would say that's exactly it. You screwed us up that year. You were the reason that we looked so terrible, and you left. We had to sit there and watch us pick up the pieces and throw a kid in that you obviously weren't teaching anything, because you really don't know how to play quarterback yourself, because I've watched a ton of football, and you, sir, are the only person that I have ever felt physically sick to my stomach watching play quarterback.
As Cody would say.
I would say, yeah. No, and I hope to see him, and I hope he sees it, because you made me sick to my stomach physically watching you play football on the team. So I'm glad you're gone. You quit, and don't ever step foot in Atlanta, because if I see you, it's not going to be pretty. I've never seen anybody so confused about why, it seemed like he never took any shots at us, or the team or anything like that. But don't sit here and act like, this is what pissed me off so bad about this, is that you might as well just said that I don't understand. Falcon fans are just dumb. Like everything was good. No, Marcus, you quit on this team. So I'm glad your ass is out of Atlanta. Don't come back.
Man.
A good scenario right now, being injured. Trae Young, for existence, it's a whole nother sport. He's injured right now, and there's a lot of losing going on with the Hawks. Right.
Ronald Acuna could have done the same thing. When the Braves were getting ready to go to
he's supporting them throughout these past few games. So against the Celtics, he wasn't there. Hurt, torn ligament in his finger. He's still there. You're the quarterback. You're supposed to be the team leader. Trey's not there, so he's the team leader, but he's still there leading his team. Whether I have to agree with you, man. It's just.
It was so infuriating to see that as a Falcon fan, to just be like, I don't understand why the narrative was I quit. It's because you did. It's plain and simple. You quit, and I'm glad you're gone, because you're a quitter. Quitters suck.
Philip, want to fill the fans in that are watching right now. If you haven't hashtag DFU, do so. Tonight is the last night to hashtag DFU. Friday night, officially Friday night, we will give away the Julio Jones 2017 Madden Edition action figure of Julio Jones, man. Hashtag DFU in the live chat. We got a couple names
That was
already.
before he was a little hoe.
Friday night, we will do the raffle live Friday night at 8. So be sure to hashtag DFU. If you're not watching now, if you're watching later, leave a comment, hashtag DFU. We'll write your name down, do the free raffle on the live giveaway Friday night at 8. Be sure to do the hashtag DFU, something cool to put up in your Falcon man cave, girl cave, whatever it may be. Hashtag DFU in the chat. Like my boy Brandon Keeler did here. He said hashtag DFU. My boys in the chat, LaMarcus Boyd with the hashtag DFU in the chat. Falcon fans love the free giveaways here. Jeremiah Williams, I haven't forgot about you, brother. The hoodie is coming, brother. I promise you the hoodie's coming. A little bit of issues on as far as being returned back to the facility. I'm going to get it squared away. I promise the hoodie is coming. Jeremiah Williams was our free hoodie giveaway winner here on DFU. He is yet to receive that. That's why there haven't been any pictures.
I hate how it takes so long.
It don't make no sense on Bonfire, man. That's why we're going to get our own thing
and
going
it's just
here.
It's one hoodie, too. That's the crazy thing.
Because if it's not sold in like bulk, then it's a whole issue with that. But me and Philip's working on something, man. Cody as well. We're going to get us a printer, something. We're going to make y'all merch. And when we do, we're going to push it out, man. So be looking forward to that. Philip got a lot of hashtag DFUs in the chat, man. Jabri Harper with the hashtag DFU on Facebook. My boy John Moreno on YouTube with the hashtag DFU. Dwayne Ruffin in the chat with the hashtag DFU. A lot of hashtags going on, man. Cody, going to our next subject real quick, man, before we get ready to wrap this show up. A former Atlanta Falcon, another former quarterback in Atlanta, a guy that we drafted in the 3rd round, was hoping to see sit behind Kirk Cousins. Finally had his press day in Arizona, spoke to the press about his situation in Atlanta. Cody, fill the fans on the situation with Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, no, it's again, like you said, I really wish that Desmond had got, a backup role here. Again, and I'm going to this will be my last shot at Marcus Mariota. This, Marcus, is how you should have handled it. Desmond has been a class act about this whole thing. He got dealt a bad hand. He, didn't have a quarterbacks coach. And the kid is still, like, hey, like, this is my fault. The reason that we, weren't any good was because I went out there and I wasn't playing to win. I was playing to not screw up. And unfortunately for Desmond, he did screw up, because if he doesn't, we should have won the South. That probably means Coach Smith would still be here if we had that consistent play from Desmond. But again, this is how, he handled it well, because, he had to have known, after the end of the season that, he was probably going to be moved, when they started talking about, well, we got to find this quarterback and we got to find that quarterback. But Desmond never came out and was like, you know what, screw it. I want out, trade me now. He total silence. And he handled it the right way, and he stuck it out until he was traded to Arizona. So good on you, Desmond, for acting like a professional quarterback, like a true pro, unlike somebody that has been in the league much, much longer than you. I hope things work out in Arizona for Dez. But yeah, he basically came out and just said, it was on me, 90% of what went on, that was good. We went through and all that stuff. He goes, but that other 10%, man, it was just, I was playing to not screw up. And that's sad, because if he had had, a mentor, the previous year, or if he had a quarterback coach or a head coach that was, more competent in what was going on, with his players, Desmond is still here. And we're either riding with him, or he's definitely taking a backup role instead of Tyler Heineke being here. But, but good for Dez. I hope everything works out in the desert for him. He's a good kid. He's definitely a good kid. Very polite, very nice. Like I said, met him once. He was
owns up to his mistakes.
I wanted to do well. So, but yeah, that was kind of what Dez had to say, was that he put it on himself. I guess he wasn't really a rookie, but might as well have been. It was like, it was me. It was my fault that 10% I could have been better. I just try not to screw up. So good for you, Des, for taking ownership. And again, best of luck in the desert.
Yes, sir. Guys, I've been wanting to do it for a while, man. I didn't mention this in the comment section on the chat, but how about a mock draft round 1 through 2 tonight on DFU? You guys down for a mock draft one through two? Philip,
Yeah.
you cool with that? Chat, mock draft tonight, round 1 through 2. Let me know in the comment section. 1 for yes, 2
It's
for hell no.
8:37. It's
Leave a 1 in the
8:37. I
chat for
got plenty of
yes,
damn
leave a
time.
2 in the chat for no. Mock draft round 1 and 2 here at DFU. We'll either do trade selections, whatever we all agree on here.
Oh no, we lost our host.
Oh, what's up, everybody? I'm the new host.
What's going on? It's the Philip and Cody show today.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, let's say so. Mock draft 2 or not 2.0, 3.0. There he is.
Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties over here, man. 4 rounds, please, from Ron Thomas, man. What we thinking? 1, 2, 3, 4. What we doing, guys? We lost a lot of viewers on that, man. I don't know what just happened, but sorry for that, man. Hit that like, share, subscribe if you're here. Still here. Share to a Falcon fan. 1, 2, or 3, or 1 or 2 in the chat. 1 for yes, 2 for no. My boy Ron Thomas said 4 rounds. We're just going to do 2 tonight. 1 and 2. We got 1, man. We got somebody here wanting us to do it. Let's do it, man. Mock draft. I think it's 3.0, I believe, here at the channel. We took Joe Alt in the first one. We took Dallas Turner in the second one. Getting closer. I believe we're 20 days away from draft night. So let's find out what happens here on mock draft. We'll go ahead and screen share this. Philip, while I'm getting this screen share brought up, your thoughts about Desmond Ritter's comments. You heard what Cody had to say about what was happening, what he mentioned, a plan to not screw up because he had done so badly with no quarterback coach here in Atlanta, no mentor here in Atlanta to precede him throughout the way. Philip, your thoughts, Desmond Ridder?
Yeah, man. In a way, like, Cody said it to me, like listening to that, just he wanted to do, he wanted to please everybody, you know what I mean? By doing so, it kind of like, overworked himself, you know what I mean? So I just felt like he was, overdoing it, just trying to make us satisfied. And he just, couldn't get over that little hump of like, well, maybe if I do this, he's over, the overthinking. But my blame on that, it goes over to Arthur Smith, really. You put all the weight on the shoulders of a kid that just got thrown in from from his first game ever being an NFC South rival game. You just threw him in, expected him to do all kinds of big things, and we all wanted him to do all these big things, obviously, but you overworked him, and I felt like he was kind of more overwhelmed over a lot of things, but I don't have no hate towards the guy at all. Like he said, he was always respectful. He loved the fans. He loved the team, the organization. Always showed respect. Always a class act. So I hope things over in Arizona turn out well for him. You don't know what might happen with Kyler Murray over there. But my thoughts is it just really is not his fault. Really, in a way, on developmental standpoint, it's not his fault. But it is what it is, I guess. You know what I mean? But respect to him.
Yeah.
I wish him well over in Arizona.
He's a new team now, so
because I still have his card over here, man, like a signed card by Desmond. So shout out to him.
I had a kid, and I met him in New Orleans, man. He's a cool guy, real humble. His first NFL start, even coming off of a loss, Desmond Ridder still took the time to come out to the fans and take photos with people, and that's something I won't ever forget, man. Shout out to Desmond Ridder for making that memory for me, my first road game. Shout out to Jack Spade for getting me into the family section, getting to meet Desmond Ridder, getting to meet AJ Terrell up close after a game, seeing their reaction after a tough loss in New Orleans, man. It was definitely an experience I won't forget. So shout out to One Time for the Fan and Jack Spade over there, man, doing big things. Headed to the mock draft, man. We're going to do round 1 and 2 tonight. We'll go ahead and enter. That's a do a slow mock draft, and we'll go ahead and start this thing, man. As always, I may have a little lag being that it's a shared screen, so we'll see what happens here. If something needs to happen, Cody, Philip, man, just take over the show. We're going to start this thing from the top with the Bears starting the draft off. Let's see.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb
Williams at 1. You got Drake May. J.J. McCarthy to the Patriots at the 3rd.
Told y'all, bro. It's going to happen. Malik Neighbors.
See what happens here, boys.
Jaden Daniels. I could see
I
that.
could see that. Yep.
All right, guys. So before we do this, okay, we got this is what we got here, boy. This is what we're working with. For our pick 8. There's three offers here, guys. We're gonna look at all 3 before we accept one. Pick 8 for pick 26, 57, and 92, and 2025 Tampa Bay's first round pick. Guys, we just stacked up right there. I don't know if you realize that, but that's a fat ass trade there with a divisional rival. Let's check out the next one here. The Las Vegas Raiders want to swap picks, and then would take pick number 44, which is their second round pick, I'm assuming. So that's an option as well. We have another pick here from the LA Rams, pick 19, pick 52, and pick 83. That's our 3 trade scenarios. Do we sit at 8 or do we make this trade? As of now, can we all agree that the Bucs have the best trade?
Yeah, the Bucs definitely have the best trade offer.
I did say.
Chat, talk to me. Chat, talk to me. Let me know what we're doing.
receiver.
Chat, are we trading or are we staying?
I did say you could get that receiver in that later round, but I feel like we stay where we're at and get the edge because there's a lot of receivers in this draft. You stay where you're at, you get the edge that you want.
Maybe, but you think about this, Philip. If you trade back, you can still get an edge. You may sign back Calais Campbell. He may come back on the edge. So you may not need that void to fill because you have a Calais Campbell. You may bring back the Bud Dupree. He may be somebody you bring back in the system. Lorenzo Carter, Arnold Ebiketie, probably going to rush off the edge a good bit this season. And you can add another one here later in this draft. So, I mean, I think it's something to think about because let's just say we accept this trade, right? If we accept this trade, we could trade back to what number 20? What number is that? 26. Take our cornerback. Pick 57 in the second round. You could do something with Buddy from Texas. That's a guy there to look at. And pick 92, man, that could be your receiver pick or your quarterback. So there's a lot there to look at, and you're still not losing anything but number 8. Guys, we're stacking in this draft, man. Are we taking this trade? What are we doing, guys? Can we do something here? What are we doing?
But my thing is, like with the Calais Campbell thing, all right, so we're talking about Calais Campbell possibly coming back, but it's also the age-wise between him and Bud Dupree. You're going to need that guy afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like –
But there's so many drafts that come with these Dallas Turners, these Jared Verse, these Latua.
Sometimes.
I think you make that trade.
I don't think you can pass it up. I just don't.
No.
Dude, go over this one more time. We're gonna give our number 8 pick up for their number 26 pick. Okay. Then we're getting their second round. We already have a second. We're getting their third round. We already have a third plus the Calvin Ridley third. That's 3 third-round picks. You're picking 4 picks.
Right.
You're picking 5 picks in the top 3 rounds.
Right. And this is the thing that really sells me on it. They're going to be decent, but I don't think they're going to be that good. And so that 2025 pick is going to be somewhere in that 10 to 15 spot. And so
that's the winner. That's the seller. That's the ticket.
They're right there. Yeah.
That's the ticket, man. Philip, I don't want to accept this trade, man. I want us all 3 to be on the same train here before I accept this trade, man. But I mean, what are we thinking? Chat. What are we thinking? We got a chat here from Wallace Smith. He says reject and keep our 8th pick. That's Wallace Smith's opinion. Philip, Cody, do we agree? 1 for yes, 2 for no. What we got?
You're getting a lot in return.
Come on.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
You are getting a boatload in return, dude.
It's a tough one. I don't want to.
Well, listen, we're going to do more mocks. This isn't the last mock. This isn't the last mock. We haven't done a mock yet with a trade. We stayed in both drafts. We took
it's 2-1.
What was his name? We took Joe Alt in the first. We took Dallas Turner in the second. We set at 8. We've tried the sitting at 8 thing. So let's try the trade back, man. Something new here on the channel. Let's try a trade back. Let's see what happens. We cool with that?
Yep.
It's 2-1. Y'all got the edge over me, so y'all go for it.
Let's do it. All right, so we're gonna accept this trade.
I'm not totally.
We're gonna accept this trade, and we're gonna come back and see what's went through the draft board, and obviously see what's left at the top. So we'll take this trade. We'll take Tampa Bay's top 10 pick next. We'll take their first round pick and swap. We'll take their second and their third of this year, plus our second and our 2/3. So that's 5 picks in the first 3 rounds, man. We're accepting this trade. And they take Latua at 8. That was Phillips' guy. Latua at 8.
Ooh, Dallas Turner dropping all the way to 11.
Yeah,
I can kinda see
that's
it.
what I've been seeing, man. That's what I've been seeing. Quinyon Mitchell, the first cornerback off the board. Jared Verse and the Saints take Joe Alt. Coming up on our pick, boys. Any names you guys are aiming right now?
Let's see.
I think I'm receiver low key. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Cooper DeJean. Yeah, Cooper DeJean is
The
who.
stud right there.
If he's
Safety,
still there,
plays the cornerback role.
and he's
That's what I'm
ranked and he's ranked. Yeah, and see, and that's perfect because he's ranked 26.
And he comes off the board right before us.
Oh,
we got a trade.
Okay, so we're not going to take this trade. They're giving us a late round pick to swap for a first. We're going to reject that, obviously. Let's see what this next trade is. We got the Cleveland. We're going to probably reject that.
yeah.
That's next year's second right there. We're going to reject that. We won't even be picking in the first. All right, guys, we're at number 26. Cooper DeJean, which was a guy that I was kind of eyeing for that spot, is off the board. The Atlanta Falcons, you could say,
I think
you could say you got Johnny Newton out of Illinois. You got Brian Murphy, which is a defense tackle out of Texas, the guy I was speaking of in the second round. Kool-Aid McKinstry, that's a good cornerback to fill in.
There's a name that you just like went over, and me and Dad have been talking about this for a while. Chop Robinson. That is also another stud. That I'm telling you, that is a stud. Personally, that's my
6'2", 254 pounds. Earns his nickname Chop with unhinged mechanical energy. Has 3-down defender. Extremely dense, compact rusher with eye-catching point of contact strength and pop. Hyper elite explosive threat and volcanic first step that can immediately stress angles. Has the ankle flexion to reduce his surface area while multitasking around the corner. Maximizes his power element with burst, twitch, and violent. Cody, we got Phillips' pick here with Chop Robinson. Do we agree with the Chop Robinson, or are we looking at a different name?
Oh no, I like that. I would say it sold me on the explosive. It sounds like he's quick and fast off the edge, but he's strong too. So yeah, absolutely. I'm okay with the Chop Robinson draft right there.
A name that I don't think you could pass is the Cooper DeJean. If he was there at 26, I'm for sure that's the move.
Yeah.
But I'll agree with the Chop Robinson. As Philip says, you still get your edge. You did sign the veteran cornerback, so maybe you can get him in the second round. So we'll take Chop Robinson in our third mock draft here at DFU. Chop Robinson at number 26 to the Atlanta Falcons.
Another non-bad pick would be Kool-Aid McKinstry for your corner. Wouldn't be a bad pick.
Yep. Adon Mitchell still on the board, just comes off to the Colts. The Ravens take another receiver 2 years in a row in the first round, Xavier Worthy from Texas. Let's see what the Panthers are going to do with their first pick. They take offensive coordinator Zach Frazier, another solid offensive lineman. There's the sweat move, Philip. There he goes off the board right there to the Arizona
That's a bad
Cardinals.
boy, too, as well. That boy is a bad man. Let me see if my boy is still there in the second round. Let me just find out.
Brian Murphy, another tackle from Texas that I was eyeing.
TJ Tam.
Guys, we can always propose to trade if y'all see a guy you want to move up for, but this Michael Penix off the board in the second round. We're coming up right after the Chargers here. Ladd McConkey to the Green Bay Packers.
No! Damn.
Cooper. No. It's happened like that. For the past three mock drafts, the guy we want went right before us.
Yeah.
There's your offensive guard that is off the board now. So, guys, this is where we look at the receiver room, right? Or we look at maybe, let's say, the cornerback room or the quarterback room. What do we do here, guys? What are we thinking as far as receivers? You got Troy Franklin still on the board, a nice solid receiver.
I think you look at a corner, maybe.
You could look at a corner. You got Kamara Lassiter from Georgia. That would be a solid pick. A lot of fans would be happy about this.
That's not a bad pick.
Lean, wiry frame with decent portal lean, faster than his 40-yard dash time, can accelerate vertically. Snappy, short area athlete with rapid foot. Net-like transition freedom, able to sink and use culver motion on steams to maintain positioning and speed. exhaustively plays the ball through the hands when he gets his eyes on passes. Philip, we've seen him do it against Bama. We've seen him do it against Clemson. I think the
Ohio
Atlanta
State.
Falcons take him here at number 43. Kamari
Yep, I
Lassiter
agree.
to the Atlanta Falcons at number 47. We got
Cool.
our edge and we got our cornerback. Both defensive picks. We give Jimmy Lake his prizes. Bo Nix comes off the board right after Lassiter. That'll finish up our mock draft. I don't know if we'll get a grade for this. We'll see at the end of this if we get a grade. But I think we got some pretty good picks here, man. Let's see who our draft is. My
I
pen.
wanted that lad McConkey, bro. Him or Mitchell. I wanted it, though.
Okay, and we still got another pick coming up in the second here, guys. So let's not forget about that. That's coming up very soon. This is where you still take your receiver. This is where your receiver comes in. People talk about the receiver room.
This is where I think you go.
QB.
I think all the QBs that you'd want are off the board at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think you take a later round QB.
Let's go receiver. Let's see what you got left on the board. You got Xavier Leggett, Roman Wilson, Ricky Parcel, Jalen Mitchell, Jermaine Burton, Johnny Wilson, Malik Washington, Jamar Thrash, Jermaine Burton from Alabama. That's the name to look at.
That was
there.
an old Georgia boy, too.
Yes, sir. And he played exceptionally well with both teams. Elite speed, threat with easy explosiveness, whose effortlessly wraps coverage angles, twitched up mover with snappy redirection, freedom, and crisp agility. This guy, Philip, we've seen him play with the Bulldogs, Alabama. Cody, you watch college football. Jermaine Burton at receiver. How are we feeling about that? Are we looking at another position, or is receiver a position we're looking at in the second round with our trade back?
I would say he's not a bad player, but for him to be ranked 106 and have, 5 guys in front of him?
Yep.
I don't know that I would take him there, but I don't know.
Xavier Leggett is another one that's bad, man. He's a bad dude.
Dense, compact receiver with supersized core, rare mass, and wide catch radius. 6'1", 221 pounds. A lead explosive threat, size, speed, anomaly who can teleport upfield through creases. Shows glimpses of high-end throttle control and stop-and-start freedom as a separator. Has great blind spot awareness and can use his speed and bend to peel behind DBs, able to authoritatively high point passes and maintain. And guess what? Kirk Cousins has another weapon in Xavier Leggett from South Carolina.
I'll take him.
I would take him. I would say he seems like another guy to take the top off and it sounds like he gets separation too, man. So I like that pick.
Yep. Let's see if we get a grade here for this game, guys. I don't know if we will on this app or not. This is a free mock draft simulator, so we'll see what happens here in just a second when this round 2 wraps up. I was surprised to see the quarterbacks come off so fast, man. You look at – let's just go back to the top real quick. Okay, we did get a little something here, but I don't think it's a grade. It's not a grade. But that was our results for that. We took Chop Robinson in the first. We got our edge because we traded back with the Bucks. Got Kamari Lassiter in the second round with our original pick. We took Xavier Leggett with the trade back, and we still have 2025 first-round pick. Looking nice for Terry when it comes to the draft board. A lot of things could happen, man, and this was just our scenario if we were to trade back. I think you could see the Falcons sit at 8 and take an edge, but we wanted to give y'all something new here on the channel. Chop Robinson, Kamari Lassiter, Xavier Leggett, and we're still looking nice with that first pick next year. Mock Draft 3.0 here on the channel, man. Went well. Appreciate everybody participating, man. Let's see what these people had to say here in the chat. Ron Thomas said, keep the 8th pick. Wallace, because you're going to miss out on a top edge rusher. John Moreno said, I say keep the 8th pick, get an edge rush. Then Wallace said, get Murphy. He said, get Leggett. Philip, a guy we took, receiver. Ron Thomas said, yes. So some people agree, some people disagree. That's the point of a podcast. We all give our own perspective, our own thoughts here on the channel, man, and we love it. That's what we're here for, man. Hit that like button if you're on Facebook. Share on Twitter, whatever platform you're catching D if you want, man. Hit a like, share to a Falcon fan. We greatly appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. Philip, Cody, this pretty much wraps up tonight's show. Philip, give me your shout-outs for tonight, and then Cody, you follow up, sir.
And as always, shout out to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? You know, without him, there is nothing. There is nothing, man. You know? There ain't no us. There ain't no show, you know. Shout out to y'all again. Without y'all, there ain't no us. We do this for y'all's pleasure to help y'all escape whatever going on in the world, or well, if you have certain problems, we're here to entertain you. Feed you. Here to help. You know what I mean? So, shout out to y'all for being here, for supporting us, because it means a lot. But shout out to these birds, man. Hopefully we do some big things. Shout out to we wasn't here on I don't think last week. I don't remember. But shout out to the Hawks. We owned the Celtics twice. We came back a 30-point lead, and I watched that game. I think it was that Thursday or Friday. I can't remember, or it might have been that Saturday. I don't remember. But shout out to them for taking them out at home twice in a week. It's crazy. I can't really say much. Shout out to the Braves for opening up, opening day, with a big bang. Not really
opening week, man, going crazy. Chop on, man. Braves carrying it up.
Not really a Brave, I ain't gonna say I support the Braves, but I'm not much of a baseball guy. But shout out for them. I did pay attention to it. They opened it up with a bang, so shout out to them as well. And it's always rise up. Let's get it, baby.
Cody Cinco Killer. Give me your shout outs for tonight, brother.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Shout out to, the fans watching, man. As like Philip said, if y'all aren't watching, we've always got a reason to talk Falcon football, but there's no reason for us to put it on the internet if y'all aren't watching. So, thank you for, liking, subscribing, watching. It's always great to do this with y'all. Shout out to you two, as always, coming on a Friday night after a long week of work and, still wanting to come and talk Falcon football. Love it. Shout out to the 55th episode of Dirty Bird Nation. I would say we are Dirty Bird Nation, but Dirty Fanatics United, man. Gotta love it, man. I'll say, still appreciate how much y'all, brought me on, and I've enjoyed it, but yeah, again, guys, keep liking and subscribing. 355, and because of today's episode and because 55 is my favorite number, 355, man, I'll still send y'all preseason game. Shout out to the Dirty Birds for giving us something to talk about. Gotta love that. Shout out to Jake Matthews and his wife, baby girl on the way. Chase, I know you got another one coming. So, shout out to the parents out there too. So, yeah, man. But always rise up, guys.
Shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight, man. We greatly appreciate you guys leaving comments in the live chat. Keeps us guys going, man. We had like 4 topics tonight, and we talked for a whole hour. Did a little mock draft. Brought you guys some content. Even put up the TikTok reel that me and Philip made before the show. So check us out on TikTok, man. If you're not on Facebook groups, please join us on Facebook groups. We post in there daily. We have Falcon fans that post stuff in their daily draft scenarios. Not just us guys from DFU, man. Other Falcon fans in there. Posting their own content, just spreading the word about the Atlanta Falcons. And that's the whole reasoning of this podcast, is to bring you a fun, energetic Falcon content creator podcast to make you guys want to go to Falcon games, make you guys want to tune in with us after the Sunday game, after we just hit a dub. Y'all want to come to DFU and party, because, guys, when we go live during the regular season, as soon as them Birds win, guess what? In like an hour after the game, when everybody's sobered up a little bit, we talking Falcon football. That's what we do here on DFU, man. So stick around, man. Hit that like. The new season is coming up, man. Draft night is going to be fun. Training camp coverage has already been lit. Last year was a fun time for me and Philip at training camp. We got a newbie here, my guy Cody, going to join us at training camp. So much to happen here at DFU, man. I want you guys to be a part of it. So if you haven't, man, hit that bell down there so you know. Well, I'd say down there, hit the bell so you know when we go live. Hit that subscribe button as well. Hit the like, man. You don't understand how greatly that helps us. If you're on Twitter watching this, man, head over to YouTube, Dirty Fanatics United, DFU_ATL right here is my name up under my name at DFU_ATL. Hit the subscribe button, man. It's free. There's no reason not to hit it. If you're a Falcon fan, free giveaways, always bringing you content. And like I said, we're 3 diehards here, man, just spreading our love for the game, our passion for the Atlanta Falcons, and just trying to find other fans that, job well with us. So please hit that subscribe button. As always, man, thank you guys. It's your boy Chase from Dirty Fanatics United, my co-host Philip, my co-host Cody. I thank you guys humbly. Shout out to you guys. As always, man, A-Town down, rise up.
Fred, Benji.
Fuck Fred, fuck Howard, and fuck all of them.
What about Robin? She's hot, right?
Robin?
Yeah.
Who cares about that bitch?